how does my dog's difficulty getting through a doorway when he just got a treat relate to my own difficulty having a calm conversation after I've just been running on the treadmill? Stay tuned to find out. Hey everyone, I'm Sonia, and on this channel I give you attachment style healing tips and relationship tips. And today I have kind of a quirky little video for you. I did want to also let you know that I am open to one-on-one coaching, and you can check out the link for that in the description box below. So I made this quirky connection recently, but it did tell me a little bit about our nervous systems and how when they're ramped up, it can lead to sort of unexpected results. So I have noticed that after I've been exercising, it's particularly hard exercise, I afterwards, if someone tries to have a conversation with me, let's say my husband brings something up, or if I find out something just small that's happened that's disagreeable, like I find out that an appointment has to get changed, or, oh, my email, like it didn't go through and now I have to figure out how to contact the person in a different way because their domain doesn't work anymore. Just anything little like that, I find that my handling of it is much more difficult. And, I before sort of thought, okay, well, I can sort of feel that I'm physically still breathing hard, and maybe I'm just associating that with, times when I'm more upset or something like that. And there could be some truth to associating it with it. But I think it's also true, now that I've been thinking about nervous system regulation so much and the work that I do in the coaching, that, exercise does stimulate the sympathetic nervous system. And so that means that I'm in sympathetic nervous system mode probably still at those times, more that fight, flight, or freeze kind of mode. And so that probably explains it, right? So that's why it's a little harder for me to be calm in a situation. It's a little hard for me not to react harder to something that feels like it's going badly. And then the funny connection that I realized with my dog is that, so my dog has had a bit of a phobia of going through doorways anyway, okay? So he has this bit of a phobia, and it's really cute actually, because it's like you have to sort of coax him through. So you feel like sort of a parent at the bottom of a slide when a kid's coming down, like, you can do it, you can do it, and you can coax him through. But he's gotten better at it, so he can usually do it on his own. The exception is when he's just been given a treat. And that, I believe, is because he's really excited. So part of it's that positive ramping up. His system's like more ramped up. He's probably wanting that sense too of wanting to guard it, right? Because that's what he likes to do, is go take it off to his bed in the corner that he's trying to get through the doorway to get to. But he really has difficulty again. So he's right back to like the worst stages of when he can't get through a doorway again and has to really be coaxed and helped through if he's just had a treat. So the link there is that when your nervous system is ramped up, particularly sympathetic nervous system, but in general too, if something's more ramped up like that, even from a positive thing like a treat, that means that it can have this unintended consequence of other things being more challenging, more difficult, whether it's reactivity or whether it's the challenge of getting through a doorway if you have a phobia about it that you've mostly gotten over. So what is the point of me telling you this? I think the point is to really be mindful of it. Don't disregard the state of your body and your nervous system, even if it doesn't feel directly related. I think all of us realize that, don't approach someone and ask them something difficult if they just found out bad news, right? I mean, we see that correlation between something that seems more obviously bad and that right afterwards there might be difficulty with the conversation. But it might not be as directly related. So if you're feeling ramped up, even if you don't know why, maybe that's not the right time for the conversation, or maybe you need to do some nervous system regulation beforehand. Or if you're already in the conversation and just sort of trying to have that awareness, come to the awareness of what's going on, and maybe tell the person, oh, I'm realizing that I'm kind of keyed up right now. And so if I sound like I'm, sounding a little intense in how I'm reacting, it's really not as much about what you're saying. It's because I am a little keyed up right now. So that way they can understand why you might come across a little more intensely in the situation that you might otherwise, or you're not able to be as calm in how you're responding. So again, mainly just don't disregard the state of your body, be mindful of how you interact, And then if it is happening, either choosing to have the conversation later or do some nervous system regulation beforehand, or if you're already in the middle of it, trying to communicate with the person to let them know what's going on. So it's just kind of a quirky little association that I made between my dog and myself and our ramped up nervous systems at different times, and what that can help us with in lots of just little interactions and times that we have just during our daily lives. Has this ever happened to you? Especially thinking back on it now. Do you think you've ever had that happen where you were keyed up in some way or ramped up, not necessarily in an obvious way that would make a conversation more difficult or your handling of a small incident or change more difficult, but that you now realize might have been because of your nervous system being overstimulated or keyed up? Let me know in the comments.